What's up, YouTube? FD White back with another episode of FD White Invest. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. So it's been a very monumental, rocky almost 24 hours, man. Almost 24 hours. Yesterday, Jerome Powell came out and spoke, and basically he didn't know what to do. It seems like he doesn't know what to do, man. So the markets does not like uncertainty, and that's exactly what we got. So we're going to jump into that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some news. But of course, we got to jump started with some TA. So let's jump right into Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is sitting at 99,473. We've been in this channel ever since the 11th, or a little bit of maybe the 10th, 11th, 12th of November. Came up, came down, came up, came down, came up, came down. A couple deviations here when we had that 12K wick day. Then we had another little deviation here over on the 10th. But now it seems like we are trying to retest and hold the bottom side of this trend line, or this trend, or this channel that we are in. So Bitcoin right now needs to hold 98,500. We'll say 98,500. So I can see some sort of a liquidity grab or some sort of sweep below here, and then possibly come back in. I do not want to close below this upper sloping trend line. I don't want to see something like this, a retest and a rejection. Really don't want to see that. We do have this yellow 20-day MMA modified moving average coming in, holding as good support. We've been holding this as support. We had a small little deviation below it, but this has been a very good support line for us over the past month or so. So I am looking at that. So basically it's coming in confluence with the bottom side of our channel. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Right now, Bitcoin is below 100K at about 99,473. We're not getting a lot of buyers coming in the market. Like I said, we came down tremendously yesterday, probably to the tune of about 5%. So not only is the crypto market taking a huge beating, but the stock market, I think yesterday 1.5 trillion was wiped from the stock market. So we do have some of the tech stocks starting to bounce. We do have some outliers here starting to bounce here or there. Amazon is coming up. Visa, Nvidia is up 2%. Apple's up 1%. Microsoft under a percent. Google, Meta, same thing. So we're not really getting a huge pump. We're actually starting to come down on the indices. The NASDAQ is only up 0.08. S&P is up 0.23%. So looks like we may be turning red on the day. We'll see how this day plays out. But it's just a lot of things happening and a lot of things we have to continue to look at. If we look at altcoins, I mean, Bitcoin dominance is starting to go up. We're back almost at about 59%. We're up 1% on the day. So a lot, I mean, Bitcoin is going down and Bitcoin dominance is going up. I do not like to see that, especially when I'm altcoin heavy. I see a lot of people are altcoin heavy, man. I have been looking at Twitter, looking at the sentiment of mostly everybody, and a lot of people are very upset, even with Bitcoin still hovering around 100K. And that, like I said, shows me that a lot of people are altcoin heavy, including myself, which is cool. I'm fine with it. I still think we have ways to go up. But you know, I'm definitely going to start transitioning out of altcoins potentially as my thesis plays out in Q1, end of Q1 going into Q2. So this is another thing. We talked about this yesterday on a video. If you didn't watch that video yesterday, make sure you hit this link up there and you can watch this video where I talked about the Pi cycle top indicator. And we are not close to tapping that 111 and that 350-day moving average. So that is some hopium for people who want to be, or who think or want the bull run to continue going into Q1, going into 2025. So it's called, like, the past several tops for Bitcoin. So we have to keep our eye out on this. We'll start looking at this a little bit more as the conditions change in the economy, as conditions change within everything that's going on. So make sure you go and watch that video from yesterday so we can talk about, or so you can figure out or see what I was talking about with that Pi cycle top indicator. Sorry for your eyes, but it says, why did crypto crash today? Well, this was yesterday. So Powell's Fed speech. So what happened was they cut rates by 0.25. But really, the thing is the press conference when he was talking about they cut from the guidance of cutting 4 times next year to only cutting 2. And then he was saying the economy looks good. The economy is great. Unemployment doesn't look too good, but unemployment isn't that bad, and this and that. It was just like, what are you talking about? He was changing up what he was saying in the past, basically they're data dependent, but they're looking in the rearview mirror. So like I said, markets don't like uncertainty. And this is why we're getting all these huge sell-offs. I know the stock market, looking at the stock market, I think the stock market is very overvalued, was very overvalued. So I think this one, the stock market has a little ways to come down without, panicking too much. I think crypto should still be going up, in my opinion. Of course, I'm a crypto bro, but I think right now the way Bitcoin and TradFi is connected, it's just one of those things where it's just going to go down together. It's going to go down together, and until we get some type of resolution, or until we get some type of clear path for the going into 2025, I think it's going to be a lot of volatility. Right now we're crashing. We're down about 98, not crashing, but we are down while I'm making this video around 98.9, 98.8. So let's go back to our channel. So we are testing that bottom side of that channel that we talked about a little bit earlier. We'll be coming down to test that. So we'll see if we hold. We will see if we hold for Bitcoin. So hopefully we hold. Hopefully we hold, man, and we can continue our path forward. But if we don't hold, like I said, we do have some levels coming in around, we'll say about, of course, 90K. We have some around 83 to 85K. Then we have the CME gap coming in at about 77, 78K. And ultimately, what I'll be looking for is for us to hold that 69 to 70K level, which also the 200-day moving average is coming in. And usually that 200-day tells you if you're bullish or bearish long term. That's basically the long term moving average, tell you the trend of the market. So really this blue line here where the 200 is coming in at about 69.5 to 70K. As long as we're above there, I'm really not panicking all too much. So we'll have to continue to talk about that. And let's talk about Trump, and no thank you. He's talking about calling for an abolishment of the debt ceiling. And, the debt ceiling is just something that they keep raising continually. So it's like, why is it even there? Why is it even there? Just go ahead, delete it, cancel it, because you're just going to keep spending money. Deficits are going to keep rising. Everything is just going to keep going up. So I don't even know why they even are trying to fool the American people to with this debt ceiling, because it's just words at this point. So go ahead, delete it. Keep debasing the currency. Keep just spending and spending and spending on everything, anything and everything, stupid stuff. I've seen some of the things that they were trying to fit into this bill. That Elon Musk, this is another story. Elon Musk led the charge to kill spending bill yesterday. So I read some of the things that were in the bill, and it was just like, why is this in the bill? Why are you spending this amount of millions to do this? Why are you spending this amount of millions to do that? It's just so much always that goes into it. So luckily, a lot of people were mad at this, but I think this is something good. I think this is something that Doge can do, even though a lot of their things that they say, not a lot, a few things that they have said have not been accurate. I do see some good in this. So, and this is one thing that came out of the Doge community. And I'm not talking about the coin. I'm talking about the Department of Government Efficiency. This is something good that came out when that this bill was basically killed. He said this bill should not pass. He said anybody who I think I read Trump, Elon said anybody who votes for this bill should be voted out of office in 2 years. So this is something that we need. I think this is something that we need, because a lot of times these bills, they they get front loaded with some important things at the top, but then in the middle, when nobody's gonna read, they're just pumping in like 800 million for otter observation in Alaska. Just like, what are you doing? Like, why do we need that? Shout out to Alex O, man. No offense to the otters and the otter gang, but just crazy stuff like that, man. It's crazy stuff like that just they be putting in these bills. And I think a lot of these things be like money laundering, to be completely honest with you. Like, why do we need 800,000 or $800 million for toilet? It was something I read, like a toilet invention where they read the fecal matter. It was something crazy. I have to look it up and put it on X or something. It was something crazy, man. But I feel like it's money laundering. I think it's a lot of times, a lot of people are pocketing this money and just throwing this money into these bills, and these people in Congress are getting paid so a little bit of money to just get it passed. So, I'm not saying our government is dirty. I'm not saying our Congress and everybody is dirty, but I am. So moving on to some better news. We have Marathon Digital just bought 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, and they plan to acquire more. So Marathon Digital is a mining company. They have a mining stock. They have a stock. They're in the stock market, on the stock market, and it's a business. It's a crypto mining business, a Bitcoin mining business. But of course, they have to keep revenue coming in, and of course, they're starting to buy Bitcoin, not only mine it, because in the future, as these mining rewards get lower and lower, they still need money coming in. They still have to have a good business model. So it looks like they're taking something from Saylor's Bitcoin playbook, and this is what I really found very interesting. They call it the infinite money glitch. So where I'm from, if I see these words together, man, I'm just automatically thinking scam. Not saying that this is a scam, but I don't like those three words together. Infinite money glitch. Nothing is an infinite money glitch. Not where I'm from. So it says it involves issuing debt in the form of dated share rights in exchange for capital to accumulate Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin's price rises, companies report Bitcoin yield to highlight investment performance. So I mean, as long as Bitcoin is going up, I guess it's a good business model. And the key is when it comes to MicroStrategy, when it comes to these, I think Marathon, Hut 8, Riot, whoever's adopting these fundraising strategies that was popularized by Michael Saylor, I hope they can sustain the volatility, especially if we start getting huge dumps to the downside, and then hopefully their business model can sustain through the ebbs and the flows. That's the thing. I know it can sustain, can long term it would be good, but really sometimes you got to focus on the short term, especially if it's like leverage plays. Like even as a trader, like long term, if you're just buying Bitcoin and holding it, you're gonna probably fare well. But if you're buying Bitcoin on leverage, thinking about short term profits and things like that, that's when it gets a little bit tricky. And that's something that I hope I hope works out for these companies, because I think this is good for adoption, and I think it's good. It's just overall good, man, that Bitcoin is starting to be an asset that people are putting on their balance sheet, and people are really investing in, as a real asset. I really like to see that. Really like to see that. Lastly, I want to talk about El Salvador. So I equate this to everyday people too. Like, so it says the IMF just approved or improved El Salvador's Bitcoin law. I don't know if it improved it, but we'll see what happens. It says the IMF announced yesterday that they reached a $1.5 billion loan deal with El Salvador. Let me make this. I know that's kind of bright on you guys' eyes. Maybe this will be better. The author of this article spent 3 months in El Salvador around the time Bitcoin law went into effect. He thought then it was a positive development but for the country, but there were aspects of the law that he strongly disliked, especially these aspects that are now being removed. What is being removed? So it says merchants will no longer be obligated to accept Bitcoin. So he said he doesn't think it should be forced upon anybody. It says that they have to wind down operations of this Chivo wallet. And I think that was something where people were getting like $30 to download the wallet or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But it says in 2021, the wallet was incredibly buggy. Open source community and free market are much more capable of building better tools, good riddance. And it says, that said, it's slightly disappointing that Salvadorian citizens won't be able to pay tax in Bitcoin anymore, although you doubt many did. So I guess they can't pay taxes in Bitcoin anymore, and they don't even have that choice. So to succeed, Bitcoin benefits from its equal playing field. El Salvador still goes a long way to offer than just the things that were taken out. So I equate that to just a regular person. Like sometimes you have to make deals with the devil. So to say, and the devil is the fiat. I equate it to fiat, man. Sometimes you got to pay bills, you got to pay taxes. Sometimes they don't take crypto. Sometimes they don't take Bitcoin. Sometimes crypto is not even in the conversation, and you have to interact or you have to transact with dollars or whatever you're dealing with fiat wise. So and sometimes you need money. You need money to take care of your family. So I guess they needed this $1.4 billion loan to take care of the country, and sometimes the country's needs outweigh the crypto community. So we'll see what happens with this. I still think El Salvador is a leader in the space, or a leader when it comes to countries adopting Bitcoin and using it as legal tender You can't take that away from them. So shout out to the president over there, and we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled and posted on what happens over there, because this is, I don't think this is going to be it. I think this is just not just a one-off story when it comes to the IMF and El Salvador. So we will keep our eye out on what happens over in El Salvador. So right now, like I said, Bitcoin is sitting at 98,839. We're approaching that bottom half, or the bottom part of our upward trend. So we'll see how we react with this. We'll see how we react with this throughout the day. And if you're trading, we'll wait for the breakout retest, break down, retest, and I mean, you can go short. You can go short. A lot of people don't like to short in a bull run, but you can make money both ways. So that will be something that I will look out for if that does happen. And if you want to trade, I do have a link to Bitunix. This is the best up and coming platform that you can use. I do have a link in the description below. Make sure you go over there and check out what we have. I have a nice little package for new users. Also, if you want to become a funded prop trader, you can get up to a $5,000 to $100,000 account with Breakout Prop Firm, the premier crypto prop firm. So make sure you go down in the description below. I do have links down there. I have the Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Telegram group. Make sure you go and join that as well. And that pretty much wraps it up for today. I will see everybody a little bit later on the Nightcap. And we'll just keep you posted, man, over the weekend to see how Bitcoin reacts, see how the crypto markets react. Altcoins are bleeding. So we do have to watch the altcoins. We do have to watch Bitcoin dominance. I did drop that video yesterday talking about Bitcoin dominance. So go watch that as well. And I will talk to everybody in the next video. Have a good day.